Welcome back. We are now going to take steps to walk through scenarios that you would actually run into when using Clickfunnels. So we're going to start the process of integrating an autoresponder to our Clickfunnels account in order to walk through this process. And to do that, we're going to go to the account settings area. When we get to the account settings area, we're going to go to the integrations area. What we're then going to do is we're going to add a new integration. And instead of adding MailChimp this time, we're going to add in GetResponse. So we're going to go to the email section to narrow it down, and then we're going to add in GetResponse. And in order to add in GetResponse, what's needed is going to be the API key from your GetResponse account. You're going to give the integration a nickname. So we're going to give the nickname GetResponse. We're then going to go to our GetResponse account to get the API key. Inside of GetResponse, there is an Integrations and API section, and then there's an API tab. We're going to use that tab to set up an API key. We're then going to copy in the API key to this area and click Add Integration. And we are going to do that off camera. GetResponse is now connected to our Clickfunnels account. So what we're now going to do is we're going to set up a funnel. And what we're going to do is we're going to click Build a Funnel. Now in this case, what we're going to do first is we're going to sell our product. We're then going to set up a sales funnel. We're going to name the sales funnel. We're then going to build our funnel. The funnel starts off with a squeeze page in the first position. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the opt-in templates, and we're going to set up a template for our opt-in. And we're going to choose one of the opt-in templates. And once we choose that template, we can then begin to edit that page and template. So we're going to click Edit Page. We are going to make changes to the content. We're going to write in our own content. And we have now created our content. We're now going to go to our settings. We're then going to go to our integrations. We are now going to connect our autoresponder, and this time we're going to connect our GetResponse account. Once we do that, we're going to have a person added to a specific campaign inside of GetResponse. And then we're going to select a list from within our GetResponse account. And you'll notice then that what's happening is that Clickfunnels is connected now to our GetResponse account. It's now going to look inside of our GetResponse account to find a specific list that we are going to work with. Our account is now connected, and we have now completed our integration. What we want to do now is we want to preview the form to make sure it works correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to click to download the report. We're going to write in our name and email address. Now in this case, one of the things you'll notice here is that on the submission page, we are asking for a phone number, and that's not going to be something that we really want to do. So we're going to go back and we're going to make changes to our form. Now to do that, we're going to need to make changes to the pop-up. So we're going to go to the pop-up page. When we get to the pop-up form, we're going to hover over this part of the form. Depending on where you hover, you could delete the entire section. And all you really want to do here is delete this part of the form for the phone number which you're looking in the orange box. We're going to click Delete. And we're going to delete that element. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in a row. And we're going to add in a one-column row. We're going to add it into this section. We're going to build out the row, and what we're going to do is we're going to drag and move the email address box into that row. So now we have a person asking for the name and email address. We're now going to delete out this area, and so we have a request for name, we have a request for email address. Now if we want the sizing to be the same as the top form, we can take this box again and we can drag it into the area where the name form is. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to hover over the email address box, and we're going to move it into the same area where the name form is so that they'll both be the same size. We're going to come back. We're going to delete out this box. And for good measure, we're going to change the copy here. And so now what we've done is we've completed working with the pop-up. So we're now going to save our changes. We're going to close the pop-up, and we're now going to preview our box again. What we're now going to do is we're going to click the download button, and we now see that our box is closer to what we want it to be. So what we're now going to do is we're going to exit out of this pop-up area. So what we're now going to do is exit out of the squeeze page area and come back to the settings. So we're going to exit out of the squeeze page area and come back to the funnel settings. What we're now going to do is go to this publishing area, and we're going to give this publishing area a unique path. And we're going to update this funnel step. And what we can now do is we can now see our report in the unique funnel step. And we can do so by clicking this link. And we can now see our page as our customer is going to see it when they come to it. What we're now going to do is work with our sales page. And we're going to click the sales page area. That's going to bring us to our sales page templates. We're then going to choose a sales page template. And we're going to take the first sales page template. And once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to edit the page. And what you're going to notice right away on the sales page is that Clickfunnels gives you a message on top of this button that the customer is going to use to submit. And it says open the pop-up. And so you also have a pop-up here if we show the pop-up. Now, one thing that we'll notice is that we're asking for a name and address when this button is clicked to submit. And that's probably not going to be something that we want to do if we're going to use the squeeze page also. So what we need to do is we need to turn this off. And to do that, we're going to click right on top of that message. And that's going to bring up this action for the button. And we're going to click right on top of the button that says set action. And you'll see here that this button is set to either open the pop-up, Facebook opt-in, go to a website URL, or go to the next step in the funnel. Now, when we submit the action, we want the page to now take us to the next step in the funnel. And we can indicate that here. Now, Clickfunnels is going to warn you that this is not submit the form. All this does is go to the next step in the funnel, and that is what we want it to do. We're going to click inside of this area, and what we're going to do is save our form. What we're now going to do is we're going to exit back out to the funnel settings. And we're not yet going to change the name of the page. We're going to do that at the end once we've completed all of our pages. What we're now going to do is we're going to go to our order form. And we're going to edit our order form. And we're going to assume that we have all of the information here, including the product. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our action for the button. And we're now going to set the action for the button. Now this time what we want the button to do is we want the button to submit the order form. So we're going to leave this ticked. And assuming that all of our other information is going to be correct, we are now ready. Now, one thing that we can check here is we can check our pop-up. And you'll notice that there's no pop-up here for this particular page. Now, assuming that our order form is correct, we can now click Save. What we're now going to do is go into our settings. We're now going to go into our general settings. We are now going to make sure that this page does not show up in the search engines. And we're going to go forward. We're now going to save again, and we're going to head out to the funnel settings. Now it's at this point that we can set up our product. And what we can now do is add a specific product to the funnel step. We're going to add a one-time product to this step. What we're going to do is we're going to use our default gateway. We're then going to click Next. We're now going to give our product a name. We're going to give the product a price and currency. We're going to give a billing description and product description. Now it's at this point we can decide whether to add a bump order to our product. We're going to forego that here in this area. Now if we are selling a physical product, we can then inventory that product, but we're going to sell a digital product, so we are going to leave this blank. We're going to save and go next. Now if you have variations for the product, you can add them here. We are not going to add any variations. We're going to go forward. Now when the buyer goes through the process, what we can do is have that individual added to a membership area. And so what we can do here is we can then select a membership area. And what we're going to do now is we're going to click Save and Next. And what we can now do when the customer purchases a product is we can trigger a follow-up action. And what we can now do is have that individual added to our email marketing list. In this case, we're going to have the individual added to a get response list. We're going to have them added to a specific campaign. We're going to choose the campaign now in get response. We're now going to save and exit. We're going to state that the product is not a physical product, and we're going to save and go next. What we're going to do now is return to the products list. And now that we have completed this step, what we're going to do now is to go to our order confirmation page. And we're then going to click on the order confirmation. We can now choose an order confirmation template. And we can begin to edit this page. We're going to make sure that this page stays hidden from the search engine. So we're going to go and edit this page. We're then going to go into the settings. We're then going to go to the general settings. We're then going to make sure that this page stays hidden from the search engines. And then the customer will automatically get access to their purchase from this page when they click the link. We're going to check the pop-up area just to make sure that there is no pop-up. And we're then going to save the page once we have edited and adding in our branding. Once we have saved the page, we are then going to exit to the funnel settings. Now what we've done in lieu of a thank you page is we've had the individual sent straight to the membership area in order to log in. So what we're now going to do is we're going to go to our settings area. And we're now going to set up the domain to hold our pages. So we're then going to set our domain, and we're then going to set the path for our domain. We're then going to save and update our settings. And now that we have the path for the funnel, we're going to test and visit the funnel URL from this link. And it's here that you will want to walk through the basis of your funnel. And you will walk through each stage of the funnel. And when you get to each stage, you'll want to note if you have mistakes or if something isn't happening the way you want it to happen. In this case, what we want to do is we want to have the order form now appear. And then we want our customer to be able to purchase the product that we have set up in order to complete our order. Now, one thing that we have done is we have given our customer access to a specific member area that we have already set up in a membership funnel. What we're going to want to do is make sure that the product that they purchased gives them access to content within that membership funnel. So to do that, we're going to go to that membership funnel that we have already set up. We're going to go to our funnels. We're then going to go to our membership funnel. Once we get to the membership funnel, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure in the membership area by going to that funnel and then going to restrict the access within the funnel settings. We're going to click restrict access. What we can do here is we can then put our cursor in here and we can make sure that only the individuals that purchase this product will get access to this member area. We can do the same thing for the other areas. And once we do that, we can go in and we can make it so that our product gives access to this member area, in particular this content. If we want to test the sign up, what we can do is to copy this page and we can head to a private browser. We can then paste in the URL and this will give us sign-in privileges to the member area and we can test our registration sign-in. And we can create an account to test our membership area. And we now have access to the membership area. Now for the sake of this video, we are going to add content to this page. What we're going to do is we're going to add in a YouTube video. We're going to add in a YouTube URL. We're going to save our page and our content is now going to be added. Now if you log back inside of your member area, you still aren't going to be able to see the content. That's because we have created a restricted area and that restricted area is keeping out the email address that's signed up for this member area. So in order to test this member area, we are going to have to manually add a purchase to the account. And to do that, we're going to come back to the funnel settings area. We're going to go to our members area. We're going to edit this particular member. When we come into this area, we are going to have to go to the purchases area. What we're going to have to do then is add a purchase. We're going to have to add in the product. We're then going to have to add in the purchase. Now this email address has a purchase. So now if we go back to the member area, that member should now be able to see the purchase and the member area that we created in the restricted area. And if we click F5, we can now see the content inside of the member area of the test member. So the final step we can take is to name our individual pages. And we can go to each page and give it a unique name and URL that goes with our domain. So for example, we can now go to our sales page and we can now give our sales page a unique name. And we can write that unique name in by going to our publishing area. We can then go to the path and then write in a unique path. And we can update the funnel step. We can do the same thing with the order form, even though what we have done is we have hidden this from the search engines. And so if we want to have a unique name, we can do that, or we can leave this page as is. We can do the same thing for the order confirmation, since again, we are hiding this page from the search engines. And so what we have now done is we have set up a squeeze page, a sales page, an order form, and a member area inside of Clickfunnels. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.